Alright, for this design what we're going to do is we're going to come in to good old Creo and we're going to start to build a model. So first thing I want you to do is grab this plane right here and we can start a sketch. We're going to keep it external. So we'll grab the sketch button, normalize, and we're going to draw roughly 3 or 4 little circles about the same size. So right here, if you feel that point popping, it's actually tying to that line. So right there, you're okay. You can go out until it's equal, and then down here on this one, it's a little bit different in size. And then over here on this one, those two can line up. That one you can pop to an equal. Now, once you get the equal, then we'll go with an arc. The arc will attach over here. Don't accidentally pop over here. And it'll attach roughly to the attachment there. So make it roughly about the right size, and then we need to hit tangency on it. So we'll hit tangency, tangency, and then tangency, tangency. You can hit undo on that if it's got a horizontal coming across there. Then you need to right button click until it turns blue, touch it with the left button, and then hit delete on your keyboard. Now you can get the tangency. So now if we run tangency. Now the minute that happens, it's like it's scaled up a little bit. So we'll scale back down. We'll double click for 1.5 and that'll lock it in as a strong. We'll do the same scenario all the way around. So here we want to do it roughly from about that point over to here. And then scale it down in and let it pop tangency if it can. If it doesn't pop tangency up here, then you need to pop it, and then we need to get another dimension to lock it into place here. So if we grab that point, we start to drag it down in, we'll get it close, and then we'll pop for a dimension. So we'll pop from this line to this line, pop with the middle button, and that looks like it's supposed to be about 2, and 2 makes it look pretty good also. So we've got 2 more arcs to do on this design. So we've got another arc that's here. This one's going to be tough because we have a tangency line. We've got a little line here that it's going to want to snap to. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to probably come in and throw a dimension here. Pop it. And that can be a 0.5 or a 0.5, 0.6. It looks like a 0.55 actually for the size, or a little 0.6. So let's move it over. It doesn't look like it's exactly 2. So let's do 1.9. Nope. 1.96. Getting there. So 1.97. And it looks like it nailed it. So this one looks like it's 1.43, so it looks pretty good. And then over here from this location over, that one would be 4.97. That looks good. And now this one looks like it's matching up and rounding. So looks good on the location of all this stuff. So now I can take this one and say 22.6. And if you wish to change it, you can grab right here at the arrow and you can go in or out. If you've got this one in place, you can go in or out like that. You can stretch it in or out. Looks pretty good. We don't want to get too perfecto on these, so we'll just get as close as possible. So right here I'm going to just throw an arc into place real quick, and then I'm going to throw the tangencies. So tangency, and then tangency. Now if you see that the arc's way outside like this one, then I'll pop once and then hit a dimension on it. If it decides to hit and undo, you've got something else that's making coincidental. So you see that you've got a coincidental, then tangency, and then you've also got a tangency, but then there's a coincidental here. So you got to be careful on how many of those that you get. The minute that I hit that I hit the coincidental, I hit delete on the keyboard, I can now start to move it. But if I move it, look what's happening. It's releasing off of the part. So we still need that coincidental to go from there to that profile. We'll delete on the dimension and we'll leave it as this, just this outside profile, a nice bubble. Then over here, we'll do the same scenario. Looks like from about this point over here, and then we'll pull in and hit release. Now we'll run tangency from there to there, and then tangency from there to there. Now, how did this one go in? If that's wrong, you can do another thing. We can come in and we can build a spline in the future. But to me, that looks good. We'll go with it. So now we've got to delete segments. So we delete this first segment, second segment, third segment. And then first segment, second segment, good. And then first segment, right there, good. And then first segment, good. And then we should have a full profile here. How do we know? When we touch here, if your whole object shades in, you're good. It didn't. It left a little dog leg right there. So I come up, I hit delete, and I pull that dog leg where it was red. Now we see it shade in, and we're good as gold. So we're finished with that. Now let's finish with the first profile of the sweep on it. So we now need a point, and that point needs to cross at this plane location, right there, at that plane location. So we're going to come in, and we're going to go to Model, we're going to go to Point, and we're going to select right here on that little line. So we're going to put it right there at that endpoint. And we're going to say OK. Now, once we've got that into place, we need to hit save. And now we can start for the sweep operation. The sweep operation is going to be done with this profile. So select it. And then it wants to put the profile over here, but we don't want it over there. We want it to be origined right there at that new point. So we select the point, and then we can come in and start the sketch. We want it to be a surface, so let's switch over to a surface, and let's hit pencil. Now, what I usually do for crazy profiles like this is I draw one small, tiny little line straight up. When I get it straight up, it says vertical. I touch the vertical, I hit delete. Then I pull the angle in just a tad. So that angle is going to go down to, let's say 80, 89. So now it's just a tad in, and then we put the length of it up. So this length would be, let's say, about 40 thou. A little bit less. Let's go 30 thou. And that creates a natural rim all the way around the part. Now we've got to build the curvature that we want for the profile. So now we go sideways so we can see it, and then we build the arch curve. I'm just going to do an arch curve off of the end of this and then pull up. You can see the tangency that it's creating for the profile of this design. And it's remaining tangential down here on that edge of that little line. So let's go with that. We want it to be high. So if we pull in a little bit right here, we can pull up, and we want it to be nice and high. So we'll pull higher than what we have on the profile here. So now, once we let this travel, we say OK, and you see it sweep around. If you can't see your object, take yourself out of wireframe, and let's go with shaded with edge. And now you can see the profile that we're creating for this design. The advantage on doing the wireframe is we can see through, and we can see what we're trying to do on the design. So if we go ahead and finish this part of it up, we can finish the profile on the other parts. So the next sweep we need to do is for the sweep of the top cover of the part. So the top cover of the part, what we're going to do is we're going to take the side plane again, which is the main top plane. And we're going to draw a sketch. This sketch right here is going to go all the way across the top of it, and we can use a spline operation or an arc operation. Let's try an arc first, and let's see how natural. We want to be outside the boundary of the other one, and then all the way around. So right there, not bad. Looks like it curves up a little bit. So if we try that, it looks like it's above this profile right here. So if I come in and I say, no, I want it to be low. The boss says I want it to be low. So you say spline. Now underneath the spline, we can pick another point in the middle, and we can arch it a little bit lower down on this other side. So we'll go with that point right there across the design. Now, same scenario. On trying to do this, we want our sweep operation to happen right here at the end of the profile. And then we've got to try to pick up this other profile on the design. When we're a little bit low past this profile like this, it can be harder. Your orientation might be sweeping up a little bit on the design. So if you wish, you can pull inward and get this thing real close to the wall to see your profile. Now, once you've got that, just don't go inside the wall. Hit check, then we can go with the other sweep. The other sweep's going to happen on this side. If you wish to switch it, touch the purple and switch to the other side. This is the operation we want to be in. We want to be on a surface, and then we want to start our sketch. Now, if we pitch sideways on our profile, we're going to be pitched at an angle a little bit. So this is just kind of an artsy-fartsy thing. We've got to try to just build that profile, but right at this point where that profile is going to happen and sweep. So we just got to orientate it kind of like an offset. So we know we'll be a spline, and we'll go a little bit low, high at the max here, and then arch across. So right there looks pretty good on the design. We're going to have to be way outside the profile, so we'll go with that size, and then we hit check mark right there, and we should be good on the design. So right there looks good. We'll hit check, and then you get to see it sweep across. Make sure that it gets outside the boundaries whenever you're sweeping across. If you wish, switch over to the shaded mode, and when you're in the shaded mode, you can make sure that you're all the way across the boundary on the design. Hit check here, hit save, and now we'll come back in for the next part of the profile. I'm going to stop at this point right here, and then I'll start another video after this one for building in the little cuts, putting in the holes, and building the profile of the design. Talk to you guys later.